please find a comfortable place to rest. Let your body begin to soften. Release any tension from your shoulders, your hands, your jaw. Feel the rhythm of your breath, slow, steady, soft. Tonight, we'll step gently into a world of flickering candlelight, parchment pages, and a secret that breathes between the lines of a book that never ends. Our story tonight begins in the stillness of a cloistered abbey tucked between the folds of ancient rolling hills. The air here is quiet, touched by the scent of old stone and blooming sage, the kind of silence that presses gently against your skin and wraps around you like a woolen blanket warmed by the fire. You are walking, barefoot, across smooth, cool flagstones, each one worn down by centuries of monastic footsteps. The arches above are high, their shadowed curves soft, not stern. Outside, leaves drift lazily from the trees, carried by the slow breath of autumn wind, but inside it is always still and safe and warm. Now come with me into the scriptorium. This is where the quiet monks spend their days. Ink-stained fingers, bent backs, feathers turned to quills, dipped in walnut ink. The only sound is the gentle scratching of pen on parchment and the low crackle of a small hearth fire in the corner. Can you hear it? Like whispering paper and breathing embers, here sits Brother Anselm. He is older than most, his beard the color of undyed wool. But his hands are steady, and his eyes, behind round spectacles, still shine with the wonder of a boy reading his very first book. Every morning he enters the scriptorium before the others. He lights a beeswax candle. He kneels, and he opens a particular manuscript bound in dark, cracked leather, resting always at the far end of the long oak table. This book is different. No one remembers when it arrived, only that it's always there. Brother Anselm discovered it years ago, tucked behind a crumbling scroll case covered in dust. When he first opened it, the pages were blank, but then words began to appear. One line, then another. Always after midnight, always when no one was watching. Now, each morning, Anselm finds new verses waiting for him, written in the same soft, looping script. A script that doesn't match any hand in the abbey. Sometimes the lines are prayers, sometimes stories, other times riddles. Once there was a single sentence that simply read, "Not all words are written with ink." He smiled at that. And now this book is his life's work. He copies the new lines onto fresh vellum pages painstakingly, lovingly, as if preserving a conversation with something older than time. But tonight something is different. The abbey has gone to sleep, candles snuffed, doors bolted. Only the stars keep watch now, and yet Brother Anselm is still awake. He sits by the manuscript, watching, waiting. The hearth beside him glows dimly, and outside a breeze stirs the ivy climbing up the stone walls. It's so quiet. You can hear the wind thread through the cloisters, soft as breath, gentle as prayer. Anselm leans closer. The page before him is blank, but then there it is. A single curl of ink appears, dark and glistening, forming the top of a letter. Then another, and another. He exhales, not in fear, but awe, because this is no ordinary book. This is a living manuscript. The monks once believed divine words could only be revealed to the worthy. That scripture could grow like a vine only in the light of contemplation. And Brother Anselm, he believes the book writes what he is ready to read. No more, no less. Tonight, the words on the page say this: there is a door without a key. a candle that burns with no flame, and a story that waits for the one who listens. His hand hovers over the vellum. He copies the words gently, careful not to press too hard. You can almost hear the scratch of his quill. Tick, tick, tick. He pauses. Look up. The wind outside has stopped. Even the fire seems to be holding its breath. He turns the page and finds something new. A tiny illustration drawn in that same mysterious hand. It's a hallway, narrow, stone, with a single door at the end. He stares at it. His candle flickers, then steadies. The book has never shown images before. He wonders, is it trying to guide him? He rises slowly from the bench. The stone beneath his feet is cold now, but his heart is warm. He lifts the manuscript, cradling it gently, and begins to walk down the hall, past the cloister garden, past the bell tower, and into the old wing, the one no one uses anymore. Dust thickens the air. Cobwebs shiver in corners, but he is not afraid. The door in the book, he sees it now, right in front of him. It looks just as it did in the drawing. He places one hand on the wood. The other holds the book to his chest, and he breathes, slowly, deeply. He has not opened the door yet, not tonight, because the story has only just begun. Let your breathing match his inhale-exhale. The fire crackles softly in the distance. The wind hums through old stone arches, and the pages of the endless manuscript rustle once more, writing a lullaby only your dreams can read. If these quiet tales are helping you drift off, a gentle like or a silent subscribe would mean the world. It helps this sleepy corner of the internet reach others who need a little calm too. I always wonder, where in the world are you listening from right now? If you're still awake, leave a whisper of a comment, maybe your city and the time on your clock. It's a beautiful thing, this quiet little global gathering, all connected through stories and stillness. Now, let's set the mood. Dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and get comfortable. Let your breath stay soft and easy. Feel the weight of the world ease off your shoulders. Feel the quiet settling around you, like the folds of a thick velvet robe. Now let's return to the Abbey, where words write themselves in the dark, and a door waits silently at the end of a long-forgotten corridor. Outside the Abbey, the moon hangs low and round, its light brushing the stone walls like milk poured gently over slate. Inside, all is still. The wind, the leaves, the breath of the night itself fits, as though everything has paused to listen. Brother Anselm stands before the door drawn in the book. Its wooden frame is dark with age, worn smooth at the edges by hands that have long since turned to dust. His fingers hover near the latch, but instead of opening it, he listens, because sometimes the silence speaks. Behind the door, nothing stirs, but the air is different. It feels aware, as if the hallway itself is watching. He presses the manuscript to his chest and slowly sinks to his knees. The cold of the floor seeps through his robes. The candle in his hand flickers once and stills. Anselm begins to hum, not a tune with notes or rhythm, but a low, gentle vibration. A sound the monks sometimes make when words are too much, when they want to let their breath speak instead. The stone around him seems to absorb it. The air vibrates softly, like the page of a book just before it turns. And then a whisper, not from his lips, not from the wind, from the door. Not words, exactly. More like the memory of a word, something longing to be remembered. He lifts the manuscript again. It's still open to the same page. But now, below the hallway, drawing a new line has formed. Some doors do not open, they receive. He reads it twice, and on the third time he understands. This door is not meant to lead anywhere. It is a doorway that holds, a keeper of memory, a listener of stories. He leans forward gently until his forehead touches the cool wood, and he begins to speak, softly, slowly, like reciting a prayer you've known since childhood. He speaks of his first days at the Abbey, of the loneliness he carried like a satchel of stones, of the moment he found the manuscript and the quiet joy it brought. He tells the door how he sometimes wonders if he's translating something holy or if he's simply dreaming a little more vividly than most. He tells it everything. The longer he speaks, the lighter he feels, like each sentence is a stone lifted from his back. Each breath, a page, turns into a book that never ends. And as he speaks, the candle in his hand burns lower, its light dancing along the grain of the door. Then a second whisper, this one inside his mind. Not a voice, not a thought, a feeling, gratitude. He presses his palm to the wood, and in return, something warm presses back, only for a moment, just enough. Then it's gone. Anselm opens the manuscript once more. The page is full again. Tonight, you opened what needed to be heard. Tomorrow, the story continues. He smiles, rises, and walks back down the corridor, past the cloisters, back to the scriptorium. The candle has nearly burned out, but that's all right. There will be more light tomorrow. He places the manuscript gently on the table. The fire in the hearth is just embers, now glowing faintly like tired eyes, nearly closed. Anselm settles onto his wooden stool, the old cushion sighs beneath him. He lays his head down beside the book, and he sleeps. And while he sleeps, another line forms on the page, very slowly, like a breath drawn in. It says, "The dreamer does not read the story reads the dreamer." Now, wherever you are, imagine yourself in that quiet scriptorium. The fire is warm, the candlelight is soft, and beside you, a book waits, its pages still breathing. You don't need to read it, just rest beside it. Let it read you. Let your thoughts slow. Let your body soften. Let the hush of parchment and whispers of ancient stone wrap around you. You are safe. You are still. And somewhere beyond this night, the story continues. Feel yourself sinking deeper now, as if your body is resting in a bed of soft moss beneath an open sky. The stars are just beginning to turn, and the story, like your breath, moves gently, slowly, without effort. Tonight, we return to the Abbey, where parchment rustles like wind through the trees and dreams are written in ink. No eye can see. The scriptorium, as always, is quiet, but not empty. Soft morning light begins to seep through the narrow stained glass windows, painting the stone floor with faded blues and golds. The air holds the coolness of dawn, touched with the scent of beeswax and old vellum. Brother Anselm stirs. His head is still resting beside the manuscript, his breath shallow and even. The fire behind him has dwindled to gray ash, but the faintest heat still lingers there, like a lullaby left humming in the walls. He wakes slowly, no jolt, no rush, just a blink, a breath, remembering. The manuscript lies open where he left it. And there, in the curve of the new day, a single, fresh line has appeared. He reads it aloud, voice barely louder than a whisper. There are some stories too quiet to be spoken, so they are dreamed instead. He smiles and nods. He understands now that the manuscript doesn't simply speak, it listens, it reflects, it remembers things even he has forgotten, like a mirror made of moonlight, or the sound of your own name said softly in sleep. Anselm turns the page. The next leaf is blank, but not for long. A slow, spiraling script begins to emerge, this time not words, but shapes, circles within circles, lines drawn like rivers flowing outward from a single point, a map not of any land he knows, but of thought, of memory, of something deeper. He leans closer. His finger traces the curve of a line that spirals inward, and when his fingertip touches the center of the drawing, he hears something, a sound not in the room, not with his ears, but inside, a memory not quite his, a woman's voice, humming, soft, steady, a lullaby in a language he doesn't know, and yet somehow recognizes. He gasps, softly, not in fear, but I wonder. The manuscript is offering him to others, other lives, other hearts. He closes his eyes. The song continues, and he sees a flicker of images, a child cradled in arms beneath a tree, a candlelit procession through a forest chapel, a garden with silver leaves that shimmer even in darkness. And then, just as softly as it arrived, the vision fades. The scriptorium returns, still, silent, sacred. Anselm breathes deeply, his chest rising, falling, like the rhythm of turning pages. He knows now that this book is not merely recording stories. It is composed of them. Memories, moments, truths, are too delicate to be kept in words alone. He reaches for a fresh sheet of vellum, smooth, pale, waiting, and begins to copy what he saw. Not word for word, but feeling by feeling. He writes of the woman's song, of the silver-leaved garden, of the sense that time, here, is not linear, but layered, like parchment stacked so thin you can almost see through it. He dips his quill again, writes slower now, more reverently. This is not a transcription, it is a translation, from soul to ink. And still, the manuscript offers more. Each morning now, it reveals new sketches, new symbols, not always in order, not always in words. But Anselm understands. This is not a story with a beginning, middle, and end. It is a circle, a loop of breath and silence. And with each loop, a new depth is reached. He sets down his quill, stretches, the soft pop of his shoulders echoes in the stillness. He returns to the page, and there, at the bottom, a new message waits. When your heart becomes still enough to listen, even ink will speak. Now, you too may close your eyes. Let your heart become still, let your breath be your quill, and the story, your quiet dream. The manuscript has no final page, and neither do you. Your dreams will write their own stories, tonight and somewhere. In the hush between moments, a page will turn, softly, gently, endlessly. Now feel yourself drifting, as if your body is wrapped in the softest linen, lying beneath candlelight, in a room where every stone holds memory, and every breath is a turning page. The fire still glows, the quill still rests, and our story now deepens, like ink soaking into parchment. Outside the abbey walls, a soft rain has begun to fall, a fine, misty drizzle that clings to the ivy and collects in tiny droplets on the stained glass. You can hear it, can't you? Tap, tap, tap. The world outside is washing itself clean. Inside the scriptorium, Brother Anselm lights a fresh candle. Its flame curls upward, flickering softly, as if stretching after sleep. He has barely spoken since the last dream, not because he has no words, but because stillness speaks more clearly now. He opens the manuscript again, it waits. But today the page is empty, truly fully blank. He waits and breathes and watches, but nothing appears, not even the faintest curl of ink. He gently touches the edge of the page, as if testing the silence. Nothing. He waits longer. Outside, the rain deepens, growing heavier, more insistent. It drums softly on the leaded glass panes above, as if urging him inward, deeper beneath the ink. He closes the manuscript. This has never happened before, and yet he does not panic. He listens, and then he remembers a line from weeks ago, one the manuscript wrote before he understood it. There is silence beneath every story, waiting to be heard. Maybe today is not for reading, but for receiving. He takes the candle and the manuscript and walks not to the table, but to the old chapel tucked behind the library, a place no one uses anymore, where the floor stones are uneven and the air smells like lavender and dust. He kneels before the altar, sets the manuscript gently before him. The candle glows beside it. The shadows shift slowly across the stone, and Brother Anselm closes his eyes. No thoughts, no prayers, just breathe, just presence. Minutes pass, or maybe hours. The line between time and stillness blurs here, and then something stirs, not in the room, but within him, an echo, like a distant bell, heard not with ears, but with the soul. And in that moment, his eyes opened. The manuscript's page is full, but not with words, with shapes, symbols that shimmer faintly, so faintly they could be imagined, drawn in a kind of ink that seems to glow and fade all at once. He doesn't understand them, but somehow he knows them. Each symbol touches something unspoken in him, a memory, a sorrow, a joy too tender to describe. They're not meant to be read, they're meant to be felt. He lays his hand over the page, and a deep calm floods him, a silence that hums with presence, not emptiness, but the fullness is too vast for sound. He stays there for a long time, candles burning low beside him, and when he finally rises, the symbols have vanished. Only the faint outline of his hand remains on the page, as if the manuscript was writing to him now. Outside, the rain has stopped. The world glistens. The sky is pearl gray, soft as wool. Brother Anselm returns to the scriptorium, his step lighter, his heart still. He sets the manuscript down and smiles. It has taught him something new, that sometimes stories are not made of ink and page, but of silence and breath and the spaces we carry between our thoughts. Now you, too, may rest in that space. No need to understand, no need to solve. Just be, just breathe. Let the quiet settle over you like the softest snowfall. Let the symbols of your soul shimmer gently, even if no one sees. Your story is still being written, even now, even here. Close your eyes now, if you haven't already. Let your breath fall into rhythm with the rain that once tapped on the windows, and the firelight that still flickers quietly like a heartbeat. We're going deeper now into a chapter not written with quills, but carried on the breath of stone and memory. The candle has burned low in the scriptorium. Its wax pools quietly at the base, the flames swaying like a monk in prayer. Brother Anselm's hands are folded before him, resting gently on the edge of the manuscript. He has not opened it yet, not because he's afraid, but because now he understands. Some pages are meant to open you first. The silence in the room is complete, but not hollow. It is a filled silence, like the hush in a cathedral before the first notes of a hymn. He closes his eyes, breathing slow and steady, and only then opens the manuscript. Tonight's page is unlike any before. There is no line of poetry, no sketch, no glow of symbols fading in and out of sight. Instead, there is a stain, dark, faintly violet in hue, circular, bloomed like a flower of ink pressed into the page. He leans closer. The air above it smells faintly of iron and rain and something ancient. And then, like a whisper passed from centuries ago, he remembers what the elders once taught him when he was still a novice, that the ink used for holy manuscripts was not just made from soot or oak gall, but sometimes from blood, the blood of berries, the blood of trees, and in rare cases a single drop of the scribe's own pressed into the mixture to bind their soul to the work. He stares at the bloom of ink. It pulses faintly in the candlelight. Or maybe it's just his breath moving over it, and suddenly he understands. This isn't a mistake. It's not a blot. It's a memory, a preserved feeling, a moment that someone long ago did not want to forget. But instead of writing it in words, they poured it into the ink itself, and now it is rising. He watches, spellbound, as the blot of ink begins to shift. Not move, but I will deepen, as though the page has become a window, and through it he sees a boy kneeling in the grass, beneath a tree that bends low with the weight of unpicked fruit. His hands are stained with the same purple inkberry juice from a satchel of crushed elderberries. Beside him, a monk is showing him how to turn pulp into pigment. His voice is low, warm, and patient. The boy listens, eyes wide. He dips his finger into the mixture and presses it onto a scrap of vellum. His first mark, the beginning of a story. But this is not Anselm's memory. It belongs to someone else. And yet, as though the manuscript is letting him feel what was once felt, to remember something he's never lived. The image fades. The ink on the page returns to stillness. But Anselm's heart feels full, not with knowledge, but with presence. He writes one line beneath the mark. There are memories that do not belong to us, but they ask us to carry them anyway. The quill feels heavier than usual, and his chest feels light. He turns the page, and again nothing appears. Not at first, then a faint handprint, pressed into the page, faded with time but unmistakable. Another echo, another story, hidden beneath the skin of the book. He places his own hand over it. The fit is almost perfect, and in the quiet he hears it, a soft voice, neither male nor female, just kind. It says, "Thank you for remembering me," and then it too is gone. He closes the manuscript, not in sadness, but reverence, as if he's just been handed a sacred relic, a piece of time that only exists in silence. He stands. The candle is nearly out. The air is cool, but his hands are warm. He leaves the scriptorium, walks slowly through the abbey halls, each stone familiar beneath his bare feet, each breath a prayer without words. He returns to his room, simple, spare, a cot, a window, a small wooden cross above the door. He sits at the edge of the bed, closes his eyes, and dreams not of stories, but of ink, of pages, of breath, of memory, of the quiet that waits between every word. And now, dear listener, you, too, may rest. Let your breath be the ink. Let your dreams be the parchment. Let tonight be another memory the world writes through you. There is nothing more to do, no page to turn. Only sleep and the sacred stillness that cradles your story as it continues without end. Let your breath fall into a slower rhythm now, as if each inhale draws in soft candlelight, and each exhale releases the weight of the day. The fire is still glowing, the abbey still listens, and tonight the story opens a door deep within. It is long past midnight now. The moon is high around and palened from the abbey's highest tower. It casts silver light across the hills and fields below. The world is wrapped in a hush so deep it feels like snow. But in the abbey's eastern wing, the oldest, dustiest part, a door has opened. One that, until this moment, did not exist. Brother Anselm stands before it, holding only the manuscript and a lamp. His bare feet rests on cool flagstone. The stone feels different here, older, almost softer, as if memory itself has worn it smooth. The door is not grand, not carved, just a simple wooden frame in a wall that yesterday held only a tapestry of St. Bridget and her woven cloak. But tonight the tapestry is gone, and the doorway hums faintly with warmth. He steps through. Beyond is a long corridor lined with alcoves. Each alcove a shelf. Each shelf is filled with books, not ordinary books. These bindings are hand-stitched in pale thread. Some covers are made of pressed leaves. Some shimmer faintly with symbols that fade when you look too hard, and none of them have titles. Anselm walks slowly. The lamp flickers. The silence is not empty. It welcomes him. He pulls one book gently from the shelf. The moment his fingers touch it, a feeling rushes through him, not a thought, a knowing. This book holds the laughter of a child who lived centuries ago, preserved like a pressed flower between vellum leaves. He does not open it. He simply bows his head. A few shelves down, another book hums softly when he passes. It smells like cinnamon and wood smoke, like someone's memory of a winter hearth. This is not a library for scholars. It is a library of emotion, of presence. Books filled not with facts, but feelings, moments that mattered so deeply they imprinted themselves into the fabric of the world. Anselm walks deeper. At the very back, he finds a pedestal, and on it, a book that glows faintly in the light of his lamp. It is his manuscript, but not the one in his hands. This version is older, faded. Its pages are brittle, as though it has been read hundreds of times. And then he sees the same handwriting, the same sketches, the same strange symbols that once appeared only in dreams. His heart slows. This is not the first time he's lived this story. Some part of him has always been walking these halls, always returning, always remembering. He places the manuscript he holds beside the one on the pedestal. Their covers touch, and a pulse of warmth radiates between them, of silent greeting, a reunion of selves. Above the pedestal, carved into the stone wall, are words written in a forgotten script. But somehow he understands. To read is to return. To write is to return. And to dream is to enter the quiet between. He stands there for a while, not reading, just being. The library holds him like a breath held just before sleep. He closes his eyes and hears pages turning, not by hands, but by time itself. Each one a gentle WHFF in the dark, like soft wind through tall grass, like lullabies hummed in languages only the soul remembers. Now, let your thoughts soften. Let this library hold your memories, even the ones you've forgotten. Your dreams tonight will wander down those candlelit shelves, past the laughter, past the winter hearths, past the door that wasn't there until they find the story only you were meant to carry. And when they do, they will place it gently beside your breath and let it rest, until the next page turns. Let your body sink deeper now, like a leaf drifting slowly on a still pond. Feel the softness beneath you, the warmth surrounding you, and the gentle rhythm of your breath as it guides you further into calm. The abbey holds its secrets close, but the manuscript still whispers, and we listen. In the days that follow, Brother Anselm notices something new. Every time he touches the manuscript, a faint whisper seems to brush the edges of his hearing, soft as the rustling of leaves. He cannot catch the words. They float just beyond the reach of sound, like shadows dancing at the edge of candlelight. Curious, he begins to walk the abbey's corridors, listening closely. One evening, as twilight folds over the hills, he finds himself in the old tower chamber, a place rarely visited, where dust motes drift like tiny stars in the dying light. There, in the corner, sits a small wooden chest. Its surface is worn smooth by time. Anselm kneels and opens it gently. Inside are dozens of folded letters, yellowed and fragile, some sealed with wax, some tied with faded ribbons. Each one is addressed to no one, signed by no hand. They are the lost letters of the abbey. Words written but never sent. Thoughts whispered into paper, waiting for a listener. Anselm takes one and unfolds it carefully. The words inside are simple. A prayer for peace, a confession of fear, a quiet hope for the dawn. But the letter itself seems to hum with life. As he reads, the whisper grows clearer, not in his ears, but in his heart. He understands. These letters are voices not lost, but waiting, waiting for someone to hold them, to carry them gently, to remember. He spends the night reading, one by one, each letter a breath, each word a step deeper into the stillness. He feels the weight of the hopes and fears they carry, the longing behind every line, and with each letter the manuscript responds. New words appear on its pages, not stories, but answers, softly spoken, like a lullaby sung across time. Anselm smiles. He is no longer just a scribe. He is a keeper, a guardian of voices that refused to fade. Now, as you lie beneath your own quiet sky, imagine a chest like this, filled with the words you never said, the hopes you hold softly in your heart, and know that even if no one else hears them, they are never truly lost. They live in silence. They live in the breath between your thoughts. They live in a story that will never end. Softly now, let the quiet cradle you, like a gentle wave lapping the shore at twilight, warm and steady, endless and calm. Your breath is slow, steady, your mind drifting on the edges of dreams. The manuscript still whispers, and the abbey breathes its secrets in the night. Long ago, before the abbey was built, there was a traveling bard who wandered the hills and villages around these lands. His name was Selim. He carried nothing but a lute carved from ashwood and a satchel full of stories. By day, he sat beneath ancient oaks, singing soft songs that made the grass sway like a slow sea. By night, he would light a small fire and tell tales to the stars. The villagers said Selim's voice could heal sadness, a balm for weary hearts. One evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky in soft amber, Selim arrived at a small village near the abbey's future home. The villagers gathered around him, their faces glowing in the firelight. He sang a song unlike any other lullaby, woven from whispers of wind and the murmur of rivers. It told of a manuscript that never ended, a book that grew with every story told, every secret shared, every dream dreamed. The villagers listened, their eyes closing gently. The fire crackled softly, its warmth wrapping around them like a tender embrace. Selim's song held a secret. Those stories are living things. They breathe, they grow, and they carry us safely through the night. After the song ended, Selim left quietly, but the villagers kept the story alive, passing it down in hushed tones and soft smiles. And one day, the manuscript arrived, carried not by a bard, but by a humble monk who knew that stories were meant to be shared and never forgotten. Now, dear listener, as you drift deeper into rest, imagine Selim's gentle voice singing just for you. Feel the warmth of the fire, the softness of the grass beneath your feet, and the slow, steady beat of the earth's own lullaby. Let his song carry you gently into dreams, safe, calm, and held. Let your body sink further into the softness beneath you. Your breath is as calm and steady as the slow turning of a page. The story is drawing near its quiet close, and the abbey's secrets rest softly in the night's embrace. Brother Anselm sits once more in the scriptorium, the manuscript open before him. Tonight, the pages are calm. No new words shimmer into being. No fresh sketches bloom upon the vellum. He feels a gentle stillness settle over him, as if the manuscript itself is breathing softly, waiting for something or someone. He knows the story is not finished, and perhaps it never will be. But in this quiet, he understands the greatest secret the manuscript holds. It is not about an ending. It is about continuation. The story lives in the spaces between words, in the pauses between breaths, in the quiet moments when the heart listens most deeply. Anselm lays down his quill. He closes the book gently, as if tucking a child into bed. Outside, the first light of dawn begins to glow faintly, soft and pink. He stands and walks to the window. The world is waking slowly. Birdsong rises, clear and sweet. He breathes deeply, feeling the peace that comes from knowing some stories are meant to be lived, not finished. As the sun rises higher, Anselm whispers a prayer, not for answers, but for patience, for wonder, for the quiet courage to keep walking into the unknown. And now, dear listener, as you rest here with the manuscript's last page that never came, let your own story unfold softly in the night. No need to hurry, no need to find the end. Just be, breathe, dream, and know you are held in the endless story of quiet moments and gentle beginnings that never truly end. Let your body sink further into the softness beneath you. Your breath is as calm and steady as the slow turning of a page. The story is drawing near its quiet close, and the abbey's secrets rest softly in the night's embrace. Brother Anselm sits once more in the scriptorium, the manuscript open before him. Tonight, the pages are calm. No new words shimmer into being. No fresh sketches bloom upon the vellum. He feels a gentle stillness settle over him, as if the manuscript itself is breathing softly, waiting for something or someone. He knows the story is not finished, and perhaps it never will be. But in this quiet, he understands the greatest secret the manuscript holds. It is not about an ending. It is about continuation. The story lives in the spaces between words, in the pauses between breaths, in the quiet moments when the heart listens most deeply. Anselm lays down his quill. He closes the book gently, as if tucking a child into bed. Outside, the first light of dawn begins to glow faintly, soft and pink. He stands and walks to the window. The world is waking slowly. Birdsong rises, clear and sweet. He breathes deeply, feeling the peace that comes from knowing some stories are meant to be lived, not finished. As the sun rises higher, Anselm whispers a prayer, not for answers, but for patience, for wonder, for the quiet courage to keep walking into the unknown. And now, dear listener, as you rest here with the manuscript's last page that never came, let your own story unfold softly in the night. No need to hurry, no need to find the end. Just be, breathe, dream, and know you are held in the endless story of quiet moments and gentle beginnings that never truly end. Sleep well, dear one. The manuscript will be waiting whenever you are ready to return. Now, softly bring your attention back to your breath. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest, like waves caressing a quiet shore. Inhale, slowly breathing in calm, peace, and softness. Hold it there for just a moment and exhale gently, releasing any tension or thoughts. Again, inhale, drawing in warmth and light, and exhale, letting your body melt deeper into comfort. Picture yourself lying beneath a sky full of stars, each one a tiny, twinkling promise of peace and rest. The night air is cool but tender, wrapping you in a gentle embrace. Feel your muscles soften, your mind slow, and your heart settles into a steady, soothing rhythm. If your thoughts drift away, that's okay. Simply return to your breath, the soft rhythm of your own story unfolding in the quiet. You are safe, you are calm, you are deeply held, and as you drift into sleep, may your dreams be gentle gardens, your heart a warm, glowing lantern, and your soul wrapped in the endless, peaceful story of night. Good night, dear one. Sleep well and wake refreshed. Our next story is The Bell That Rang Before Storms. Take a moment now to find your most comfortable position. Allow your body to soften, your breathing to ease, like a calm river flowing slowly through the quiet evening. Feel the gentle weight of the day melt away. Let your ears welcome the softest sounds, the whisper of a breeze, the rustle of leaves far away, the faint crackle of a hearth's dying embers. Our story today begins in a village nestled beneath the watching hills, where time moves as softly as the clouds drifting overhead. A village guarded by a bell that rings before the storm. In the heart of the village, a small chapel stands, weathered by centuries of wind and rain. Its stones are rough and moss-covered, worn smooth by countless seasons. Atop the chapel's wooden tower hangs a bell, large and dark with age, swaying gently in the softest breeze. No one dares ring this bell not out of fear, but respect. For it is, said the bell tolls on its own, just before thunderclouds roll in, like a warning whispered through the air. As evening falls, the villagers settle into their homes. Windows are closed gently. Fireplaces glow with warm amber light. The air is cool and still soft enough to hear the leaves murmuring secrets to each other. From far away, the hills begin to breathe, drawing in the scent of rain. A subtle shift, barely noticeable. The sky darkens like a heavy curtain pulled across the world. And then the bell begins to toll, not by human hand, but by the breath of the storm itself. Each deep, echoing note rolls across the village like a slow drumbeat, steady and sure. The villagers listen, calm and unafraid, for they know the bell is their guardian, a voice that calls them to rest, that promises protection. The sound is neither loud nor harsh. It is soft, deep, and full of a strange kind of comfort. As the first drops of rain begin to fall, the bell's song fades, replaced by the gentle patter on rooftops and the rustling of branches. The storm is near. but so is peace. Feel the quiet now, as if you were sitting just outside the chapel, wrapped in a shawl of night air and the soft glow of lantern light. Imagine the bell swinging slowly above you, each toll a heartbeat, steady and slow. The distant rumble of thunder is like a lullaby, rolling over hills and through valleys, guiding you gently toward sleep. Let your breath follow that rhythm, slow, deep calm, and when you're ready, we will continue the story deeper into the night, where the bell's secret awaits. Very gently now, let your breath ease deeper, soft and steady, like the slow sway of the chapel's ancient bell. Feel the cool night air wrap softly around you, the distant thunder, a quiet song humming beneath the stars. In the village, there lived an old man named Eamon, known as the keeper of the chapel. His hands were worn like the bell itself, strong but gentle, and his eyes held the quiet wisdom of many seasons. Each evening, as the sun dipped below the hills and the world softened into twilight, Eamon would climb the narrow stairs of the chapel tower. His footsteps were slow, careful, like a whispered promise. He would sit beside the bell, feeling the vibrations through the wooden frame, though no one else could hear it. Sometimes Eamon felt the bell's voice, a faint humming that spoke of coming storms, but also of calm, protection, and hope. One night, as a soft wind drifted through the trees, Eamon leaned close to the bell and whispered, "Will you sing for me tonight?" And in the stillness, he thought he heard a gentle reply, a vibration like a sigh. Outside, the wind grew stronger, brushing through the leaves and stirring the scent of wet earth. Clouds gathered slowly, heavy with rain yet moving with grace. The village slept, safe, beneath the watchful bell. Eamon closed his eyes, breathing in the rhythm of the night, the slow tolling that rose and fell with the heartbeat of the storm. He knew the bell was more than metal and rope. It was a bridge between earth and sky, a guardian song to keep the village safe from lightning's fire. As the first flash of lightning lit the clouds far above, the bell rang once more, a deep, warm call that settled the nerves and quieted the air. Eamon smiled softly. He felt the storm's power, but also its gentleness, like a breath shared between old friends. Imagine now the soft breeze swirling around the chapel tower. Feel the warmth of the lantern light against your skin, the distant rumble of thunder like a slow heartbeat in the dark. Let your breath match the rhythm, slow, out, calm. And with each toll of the bell in your mind, allow yourself to drift deeper toward a peaceful, gentle sleep. Softly now, let your breath flow even more gently, like the tender sway of tree branches in the night breeze, and the distant, comforting call of the bell echoing through the dark. Long ago, before Eamon was the keeper, before the chapel's stones had weathered so many seasons, the villagers held a deep belief about the bell. They called it the storm bell, a sacred protector that carried the power of the sky itself. They believed that when the bell tolled, it could push away the anger of the heavens, ward off lightning, and calm thunder's roar. This belief was born from an old tale, whispered from one generation to the next. It was said that during one terrible storm, when lightning tore through the sky like fire in the dark, the villagers were terrified. They gathered in the chapel, praying with hands clasped tight and hearts pounding. Suddenly, the bell began to ring, not by human hand, not by any rope pulled, but by the storm's own voice. The bell's deep tolls echoed across the valley, steady and sure. And as the bell sang its strange song, the lightning slowed, the thunder softened, and the storm passed without harm. From that day forward, the villagers never dared ring the bell themselves, waiting always for it to toll on its own. They trusted the bell to speak for them when the sky grew dark and to keep them safe beneath its ancient song. Imagine now the village wrapped in a soft, protective glow, the chapel standing strong and quiet against the darkening sky. Feel the gentle rustle of leaves, the faint shimmer of raindrops beginning to fall, and listen to the bell's deep voice in your mind, a slow, soothing call that wraps around you like a warm blanket. Let your breath flow with its rhythm, calm and steady, in tune with the quiet power of the storm's lullaby. Very gently now, let your body settle deeper, like a leaf drifting slowly on a gentle stream. Your breath softens, slow and smooth, carrying you into the quiet heart of our story. One evening, long ago, when the sky was painted with fading gold and purple shadows, the bell tolled all by itself. Eamon, then a young boy, sat by the fire in his family's cottage, listening to the familiar crackle and glow. Suddenly, a deep, low ringing echoed through the village. It was the bell, but no hand pulled its rope. The villagers paused, their hearts catching in their chests. Outside, the wind stirred softly, carrying the scent of wet earth and growing rain. Eamon's father lifted him up gently. "Come, child," he whispered. "The bell sings a warning tonight." Together, they walked slowly toward the chapel, under a sky darkening with swift-moving clouds. Each toll of the bell was like a slow heartbeat, steady and sure. The village gathered quietly, the usual hum of evening stillness giving way to watchful calm. Eamon watched as the old keeper, a man with eyes like quiet storm clouds, listened closely beside the bell. No one dared climb the tower to ring it. They knew the bell would toll when the storm's breath was near. As thunder rumbled softly in the distance, the bell's song grew stronger, wrapping the village in a shield of sound. And then the rain began, soft at first, then steady, washing over the earth like a gentle hand. The villagers remained calm, safe beneath the bell's ancient voice. Eamon felt a deep comfort in that sound, the knowledge that the storm-sown voice was guiding them safely through. Picture yourself standing there now, under the wide, dark sky. The bell's deep tolls wrapping around you like a soft, steady hug. Feel the cool night air, the scent of rain, the gentle pulse of the storm's heartbeat. Let your breath fall into that rhythm, slow, calm, sure. And as the bell sings its quiet song, allow your mind to drift deeper into peaceful rest. The villagers often wondered how the bell could ring on its own, as if the storm itself pulled the rope. Eamon, growing older, was curious too, but never tried to find the answer in haste. Instead, he listened. He listened to the wind whisper through the leaves, to the low grumble of thunder rolling in the distance, and to the bell's deep, echoing voice. One night, as lightning danced far above the hills, Eamon sat near the chapel, eyes closed, feeling the quiet vibrations in the air. The bell tolled softly. He imagined the storm was a giant breathing over the land, its breath calling the bell to sing, and in that moment, Eamon felt a secreter connection between earth, sky, and sound. The bell was not just metal. It was a part of the storm's own song. The lightning that flashed was not anger, but a wild dance, and the thunder was the earth's voice answering the skies. The bell's toll was a promise that no matter how fierce the storm, the village would be safe beneath its watchful song. Imagine the sky, now vast and dark, lit by flashes of gentle lightning, and the sound of the bell weaving through the night like a soft melody. Feel the cool air, the faint scent of rain and damp earth, and let the deep bell tones fill your mind with calm and protection. Breathe in sync with that steady song, slow out smooth. Allow yourself to drift deeper, wrapped in the gentle embrace of storm and song. The villagers knew the bell was a guardian, but they also knew trust was the quiet thread that wove their safety together. Each time the bell tolled before a storm, families would close their windows gently, draw curtains softly, and light their hearth fires with careful hands. Children would listen to the bell's deep song, their small hearts settling like calm stones in a quiet stream. Eamon remembered how his mother's voice would soothe him as the bell rang, telling stories of the bell's magic, of how its song pushed away the sky's anger and kept the lightning at bay. Even when the storms roared loud and wild, the villagers rested easy, wrapped in the bell's protection. They believed that the bell's toll was a promise whispered on the wind, a promise that no harm would come while its song filled the air. Picture now the village in the soft glow of hearthlight, windows glowing warm against the night's cool breath. Hear the faint rustling of curtains, the slow crackle of wood in the fire. Feel the steady toll of the bell above, a slow heartbeat echoing through the village and through you. Breathe in calm and safety. Inhale peace, exhale release. Let yourself float on that gentle rhythm, drifting softly toward rest. One night, the village lay wrapped in a thick, peaceful silence. The stars blinked softly overhead, scattered like tiny lanterns across a velvet sky. Eamon sat by the window of his small room, watching the clouds gather slowly, their edges glowing faintly in the moonlight. The air was cool and still, carrying the scent of damp earth and distant pine. Suddenly, the bell tolled not loud or urgent, but slow and gentle, like a whispered invitation. The villagers stirred, but no one rushed. They moved calmly, knowing the bell's song was a guide, not a call to fear. Families drew their curtains, lit their fires, and settled in, listening to the distant rumble of thunder growing soft and low. Eamon felt the quiet hum of the bell in his chest, steady and warm. Outside, the wind began to weave through the trees, carrying the soft murmur of the storm on the horizon. The night stretched on, wrapped in the bell's slow, soothing song. Imagine yourself now, safe and warm, watching clouds drift slowly across the moonlit sky. The bell's slow toll wrapping you like a soft blanket. Feel the gentle stir of air on your skin, the soft patter of rain waiting to fall, and the steady rhythm of your breath in our slow calm. Let your mind float on this quiet night, carried gently toward peaceful sleep. The first raindrops fell like tiny whispers on the rooftops, cool and delicate, painting the earth with the scent of renewal. Eamon watched from the chapel tower, the bell swinging slowly in the rising wind. The storm was arriving, powerful but gentle, its breath a cool caress through the valley. Lightning flickered softly far away, a dance of light across the darkened sky. The bell tolled steadily, its deep voice blending with the sound of rain and wind, each toll a calm heartbeat, steady and sure. The villagers listened from their windows and hearths, feeling safe beneath the bell's watchful song. Eamon smiled softly, knowing the bell was singing a lullaby of protection. The storm's fierce energy was softened here, transformed by the bell's ancient voice into a peaceful song. And as the thunder rolled gently across the hills, the village drifted into a quiet, restful sleep. Imagine now the soft patter of rain on leaves and rooftops, the distant flash of lightning lighting the sky like a gentle nightlight. Feel the cool breeze brushing softly against your skin, and the deep, steady toll of the bell weaving through the night. Breathe with the rhythm. Inhale calm, exhale peace. Let yourself be carried gently by the storm's song into the arms of restful dreams. As dawn stretches its fingers across the horizon, the storm retreats quietly, its thunder now a distant memory. The village awakens beneath a sky washed, clean, and soft with morning light. Iman steps outside, feeling the cool freshness on his skin, the earth damp and fragrant beneath his feet. The bell hangs still above the chapel tower, silent now, resting after its night of song. Birds begin their gentle chorus, filling the air with soft melodies. The trees shimmer with raindrops, sparkling like tiny jewels in the new sunlight. The village breathes again, calm and renewed. Iman smiles, knowing the bell's watchful toll kept them safe through the night. And as the world wakes slowly around him, he feels the quiet joy of protection, the deep peace that comes from trust, and the soft strength of ancient songs. Imagine now the gentle warmth of morning light spreading across your skin, the fresh scent of rain-washed earth filling your senses. Feel the calm that follows the storm, the quiet promise of a new day. Breathe deeply and slowly. Inhale peace, exhale rest. Let yourself drift gently, wrapped in the comfort of morning's soft embrace. Iman stood beneath the chapel tower, looking up at the bell resting silently in its place. Its dark metal surface gleamed softly in the golden light, a silent guardian watching over the village through countless days and nights. He thought of all the storms it had warned them of, the wild winds, the flashing lightning, the rolling thunder. But more than that, he felt the bell's promise. A promise carried through time like a whispered secret, that no matter how fierce the storm, no matter how dark the night, there would always be a sound to guide them safely home. The bell was not just a warning, it was a song of hope, a gentle voice that told the village, and now that you are safe. With each toll, the bell reminds us to breathe slowly, to trust the rhythm of the world, and to find calm even in the wildest storm. Feel now the steady pulse of the bell within your heart, its soft, deep tones wrapping around you like a warm, comforting shawl. Breathe in calm and safety. Inhale gentle, exhale ease. Let your mind float on the eternal song of the bell, carried gently into peaceful, restorative sleep. Thank you for listening to the bell that rang before storms. May the bell's soft song guide you through the night,